Hello, everyone. Welcome back. Welcome to part 4 of my Paramount Home Entertainment VHS Collection Update 2021. When we last left off in part 3, I stopped at the 1989 VHS of Will Penny. So let's continue on. Here's the 1987 VHS of Nutcracker, the motion picture. The film is from 1986, and it's one of the tapes I forgot to show off in my part 2 of my Paramount 75th anniversary tape, or part 3. Rated G and is 82 minutes, and it stars the Pacific Northwest Ballet under Ken Stallwell and Francia Russell. Directed by Carol Ballard, is from Atlantic Releasing Corporation. And as is right now, MGM now owns the rights to Atlantic Releasing film libraries. Here's the sticker label. Here's the end label. The 37th week of 1987. The next up, the 1987 VHS of The Red Shoe, with the production arches of Anton Walbrook, Maurice Gourny, and few others. It's directed by Michael Powell and Emmerich Pressburger. The film is from 1948. It says 1947 on there. 136 minutes, not rated. Here's the sticker label, say former library rental copy. Actually, yes. This I purchased from the book sale at the library. Here's the end label. The print date September 21st, 1987. And it's printed in the 44th week of 1987. We all know what it has at the end. Next up, the 1989 VHS of Planes, Trains, and Automobiles with Steve Martin and John Candy. And it's directed by John Hughes, and the film is from 1987. This is still unsealed. Rated R and is 93 minutes. Next up, the 1989 VHS of The Shootist, John Wayne's Swan Song. Also starring Lauren Bacall, Ron Howard, Bill McKinley, guest stars James Stewart, Richard Boone, John Carradine, Scatman Crothers, Richard Lins, Harry Morgan, and Cherie North and Hugh O'Brien. Directed by Don Siegel, and the film is from 1976. Sorry, my hands are shaky a little bit. Rated PG and is 100 minutes. And this has the black and white version of the Paramount Blue Mountain logo at the beginning before it goes to color. Here's the sticker label. It's got the 75th anniversary variant. Here's the end label. The 27th week of 1989. And this has the warning screen, the 1989 warning screen, instead of the the feature presentation music on there. Next up, the 1989 VHS of Star Trek The Motion Picture Special Longer Version with William Shatner, Leonard Nimoy, DeForest Kelley, co-starring James Doohan, George Takei, Majel Barrett, Walter Koenig, Nichelle Nichols, presenting Persis Kambata and Stephen Collins, directed by Robert Wise, and film is from 1979. The special longer version is from 1983. 12 minutes of new footage not shown in theaters. Rated G and is 143 minutes. I also have the 1991 release, which I'm going to show that when I do my Paramount Communication tapes. Next up, the 1989 VHS of Star Trek II: The Wrath of Khan, with William Shatner, Leonard Nimoy, DeForest Kelley, co-starring James Doohan once again, with George Takei, Walter Koenig, Nichelle Nichols, B.B. Bish, Paul Winfield, Ricardo Montalban, Kirstie Alley, and Merritt Budrick and Ricardo Montalban. Directed by Nicholas Meyer. The film is from 1982. This is also still in seal. Rated PG and is 113 minutes. Here's the 1989 VHS of Star Trek III: The Search for Spock. This is also still in seal. With William Shatner, Leonard Nimoy, also starring DeForest Kelley, James Doohan, George Takei, Walter Koenig, Nichelle Nichols, Merritt Budrick, and Christopher Lloyd. Directed by Leonard Nimoy. The film is from 1984. Rated PG and is 105 minutes. This also has Kirstie Alley and John Larroquette in there, and Mark Leonard. And this has the 1985 tape master at the beginning. Next up, the 1984 VHS, not 1984, the 1989 VHS, of Star Trek IV: The Voyage Home, the film from 1986. I already read the cast. If you want to check back again on part 3, rated PG and it's 119 minutes. This is a reprint because of the sticker and the different barcode on there. Next up, the 1989 VHS of Great Movie Stunts and the Making of Raiders of the Lost Ark. The Making of Raiders of the Lost Ark is narrated by Harrison Ford. An action-packed double bill. Not rated in its 107 minutes. The documentary's from 1981. Says, yep. Oops. Here's the sticker label. For some odd reasons, has the 1988 copyright right there. Here's the end label. The print date, November 10th, 1989. It's printed on the 47th week of 1989. This tape is printed when Indiana Jones and the Last Crusade came out on video cassette. So we all know what it has at the end. The next up, the 1989 VHS of The Naked Gun from the Files of Police Squad. With Leslie Nielsen. Also starring O.J. Simpson, Ricardo Montalban, doesn't say, but I do know who's starring in this film is O.J. Simpson, Ricardo Montalban, and Priscilla Presley. Directed by David Zucker, and the film is from 1988. Rated PG-13, it is 85 minutes. I believe this was aired on HBO or Showtime. Here's the sticker label, the end label, printed in the 31st week of 1989, former rental from Dale's Family Video. It has the same week and year code as on Jordan Reel's copy of The Naked Gun from the Files of Police Squad. I have the other two, which I'm going to show off when I do my Paramount Communication tapes. Okay. Next up, the 1989 VHS of Raiders of the Lost Ark with Harrison Ford. Also starring Karen Allen, Paul Freeman, Ronald Lacey, John Rhys Davies, and Denholm Elliott. Directed by Steven Spielberg, and the film is from 1981. And this is a newer packaging design. Rated PG and is 115 minutes. most incredible series of action and stunt set pieces I've ever seen in movies, says Roger Ebert's Movie Home Companion. Here's the sticker label and label. Printed in the 50th week of 1989. Moaning sound barcode on the tape. Next, the 1989 VHS of Indiana Jones and the Temple of Doom with Harrison Ford and Kate Capshaw, also starring Rosalind Sheff, Philip Stone, and introducing Ke Huy Quan, directed by Steven Spielberg, and the film is from 1984. This film may be too intense for younger children. Raiders of the Lost Ark is from 1981. This movie was originally intended for R-rated, but instead the film given a PG rating. Rated PG and is 118 minutes. Then Jack Valente, at the time the head of motion picture, convinced Steven Spielberg to create they decided that to create a new PG-13 rating system. Here's the sticker label. It's got the vertical sticker label with the Gulf Western sticker on there. That's rare. Here's the end label. The 49th week of 1989. This got the sticker underneath the sticker label. So this has the white screen of death and moaning sound on there. Next, the 1989 VHS of Indiana Jones and the Last Crusade. The video came out on November 10th, 1989, with Harrison Ford and Sean Connery. Also starring Denholm Elliott, Alison Doody, John Rhys Davies, and Julian Glover. Directed by Steven Spielberg, and the film is from 1989. Rated PG-13 and is 126 minutes. The first Indiana Jones film to carry a PG-13 system. Indiana Jones and the Last Crusade is more than accumulating of indie exploit. It's the greatest film. It's the greatest adventure in film history. That's what I meant, says Jack Garner. Look at that news service. Here's the sticker label and end label. Printed in the 51st week of 1989. This has the Diet Coke commercial at the beginning. Okay. And that's all the Gulf Western Company I forgot to mention. Now I'm moving on to the Paramount communication tapes. Here's the 1989 VHS of Star Trek V, The Final Frontier, with William Shatner, Leonard Nimoy, also starring DeForest Kelley, James Doohan, Walter Koenig, Nichelle Nichols, George Takei, David Warner, and Lawrence Luckenbill. Directed by William Shatner, and the film is from 1989. This is still in seal. Rated PG and is 107 minutes. Okay. I'm going to show you one more tape before we stop. Before we go to part 5. The 1990 VHS of The Caddy. With Dean Martin and Jerry Lewis, also starring Donna Reed, Barbara Bates, with Joseph Calera, Fred Clark, directed by Norman Turog, and the film is from 1953. Not rated as 95 minutes. Here's the sticker label and label. The 10th week of 1991. All right. That's it. See you in part 5.